Hey y'all, welcome to the Crafty Cove. My name's Missy. Today I have got 4 super simple Dollar Tree fall DIYs for you. I'm still trying to hang on to all of summer that I possibly can, but it's time to start thinking about decorating for fall, so we're just going to get right into it. DIY number 1. So for this first DIY, we're just going to take one of these little trucks from the Dollar Tree with the pumpkins on them. We're going to take off the hanging material. And I have taken some sage green from Waverly and some white Waverly chalk paint, just a couple drops of white, and mix those together. I'm kind of going for the muted colors this year. And we're going to use this color in most of our DIYs today. And we're just going to go through and paint this entire truck except for the pumpkins and the tires. We're going to just do one good coat on this because, old farmhouse truck. I do right in between the little slats of the truck bed there. And we go ahead and do the, what are those called? Fender wells? I don't know what they're called, y'all. We do all of that in this sage green color. I'm loving this color for fall. It is absolutely one of my favorites. After we get that finished and that dries, we're going to take our white Waverly chalk paint and we are going to go in and just paint the circles there on the wheels. Then we're going to take our black and we're going to paint around, I guess this is the actual tire. Y'all, I'm not good with vehicles. We're going to paint both of those black, and then we will also paint the truck bed, or the, what is that called? Those little pieces of wood up there for like the truck bed. We're also going to paint those black, and we're going to let all of this dry really well before we move on to our pumpkins. I just take my time and use a smaller brush going around the inside parts of that tire there. You can see I get a little bit of black on it, but I'm totally not worried about it. Y'all know I am a messy crafter. Now we're just going to paint our pumpkins, and to get this color I just took some pumpkin Waverly chalk paint and some burnt umber, I believe it is, from Arteza, and I mix them together just like a drop or two of the burnt umber, just to get this more muted color of orange instead of just the bright orange from Waverly. But now I am taking the bright pumpkin orange and I'm dry brushing some of that on there just to give our pumpkins a little bit of dimension here. After we do that, we are going to take 2 1-gallon paint sticks and 2 of the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to just paint all of these that same sage green. We're making a little stand for our truck so it will stand up. This is the easiest way that I could figure out how to do this. So now I'm taking my glue gun and I'm putting 2 dabs of hot glue right there on my tires, and then I'm just going to hold it up and press it to that glue stick. Then we're going to turn it around and do the same exact thing on the back tires. 2 little dabs of hot glue on the back tires, but our paint stick up there against that, and we've got that. And now, just to give it a little more stability, I'm going to take 2 Jenga blocks, or tumbling tower blocks. We're going to glue one at the front and one at the back, and again, that just gives it a little more stability to stay up. Now we're going to take a piece of a calendar, the back side of the calendar that says pumpkin patch. We've cut it out, and we're just going to Mod Podge that right there on the door of our truck. And y'all, that's it. This turned out so adorable, and honestly, $1 to make. I think it is super cute, and I am so loving those muted colors for fall. Okay, y'all, let's keep going. DIY number 2. Now I'm going to take 3 of these pumpkin cutouts. Sorry about the moving on the camera, y'all. And we're going to remove the little raffia there, and it leaves a little glue residue behind. And I just take my heat gun, heat it up, and wipe it off. And then we're going to take off the jute twine. We do this to all 3 of these. Now we're going to take that same muted green color and we are just going to paint this entire pumpkin. We do go back and change some things up here in just a little while. We add some scrapbook paper on there, but for right now I just wanted to give all three of them a cohesive look, just to make sure the bases were all the same. So again, all three of these get done this way. Now we are going to take 3 of these leaf cutouts from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to paint them in a sheepskin color. I believe this is from Folk Art. It is a chalk paint, and I'm loving this color also. So we're going to paint all 3 of our little leaf cutouts out, or paint all those up. Y'all, it's still early in the morning. I've had no coffee yet. Sorry about that. Now that we've got those done, we're putting our leaves to the side to dry, and we are going to take a piece of scrapbook paper, and we are just going to run it along those places that are raised up, and then cut it out, and then we're just going to Mod Podge those right onto those 3 places. Now you can use the same scrapbook paper for all 3 pumpkins if you like. I wanted to change it up a little bit, so I went ahead and used 3 different pieces of scrapbook paper. But again, we're just cutting it out and Mod Podging it down. I'm going to show you one more time when I do that other little, or no, when I do the centerpiece, I think it is, how I get this. It's just so much easier to do it this way than to try and glue on a piece of paper and cut it out with the X-Acto knife. So I just stick my paper down on there and I go around it, and it leaves an indentation on the paper, and that's what makes it so easy. You've already got that shape on there. You just go back there, cut it out, and Mod Podge it on. Again, we do the same exact thing for all 3 pumpkins. I do use 3 different scrapbook pieces of paper, but if you don't want to do that, if you just want to use one to have a cohesive look, hey, it's your project. It's crafting, y'all. That's the beauty of crafting. We can take something that we've seen and make it our own. So now I've got all 3 done, and we're going to glue our pumpkins together like a topiary. Sorry, I can't say that word this morning. So I'm just taking one of the pumpkins, gluing it down at the bottom of the other pumpkin. We're going to do the same exact thing for our 3rd pumpkin. I'm just trying to figure out my placement and make sure I get everything as well as I can. Just glue that right down. I do want to tell you all that one thing I did that I did not capture on video, apparently. I did make a little decal for the leaves that says Happy Fall, y'all. You'll see that in the final reveal. Now we're just going to take our leaves. We are going to go ahead and glue those on. I kind of stagger them a little bit. I don't want them to be just straight up and down, so I kind of catty corner them a little bit, I guess. Now we're going to take those same little raffia bows that were on there. I thought they were totally cute, and we are just going to take those and glue them over the holes on all of the pumpkins, and that's it. Look how stinking cute this is. This cost me about $4, but I absolutely love it, and I just styled it by propping it up against my wall. So cute. So if y'all are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like home decor on a budget, thrift flips, Dollar Tree DIYs, you're in the right place. And I would love if you would consider subscribing. You can also follow me on Instagram or drop me an email. You can also buy me a coffee to help support my channel. My link will be in the description box. Okay, y'all, moving right along. DIY number 3. This one is super simple. So I'm taking another one of those leaf cutouts and one of these little frames from the Dollar Tree. I already took the clip off, and a piece of scrapbook paper. We are just going to open up this picture frame and get this back out. Y'all, don't use a knife if you don't have to. I could not get these things to come up. Those little prongs, they were awful. But anyway, we just go ahead and get all of that out. Save your metal piece for another project on another day. Now we're going to take that same green and we're going to paint the outside of the frame. Then we also go and make sure we get the outside edges of the frame, just for a more cohesive finished look. Now we are going to take the insert to the frame and we're just going to trace that out on our scrapbook paper there. Again, y'all, this is super simple and was like $1. And I love how this turned out. It's just a little, really simple piece, but I think it makes a big impact. Now I'm going to take my purple glue stick from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to just glue our scrapbook paper right on to our insert there. I may have used a little bit too much glue. Once we get that finished, we're going to take our leaf and we're going to paint that with the same sheepskin color from Folk Art. We're going to set that aside to dry while we get everything else put together. Now we're just going to add our insert right back in there. Just, you may have to push down a little bit. It was a little hard to get out and to get in. Now that our leaf is dry, we are just going to glue it right there to the center of our scrapbook paper. And this scrapbook paper is so cute. It's just got so many words for fall. I think it's adorable. Now I'm making a little finger bow that I learned from my friend Amanda over at 6 Kids and a Glue Gun. I'm going to leave her linked in the description box. Y'all definitely go check her out. She's amazing. After we get that finished, we are just going to we just wrap it around our fingers and then tie it up with some more jute twine. We're going to cut off our excess and glue it right there to where that little hole was on the leaf. And that's it. So super simple. Very, very simple, but such a huge impact. I love how this one turned out. Okay, y'all, DIY number 4 and our final DIY. This one may be my favorite of the entire video. So I got this little candlestick, and I cannot remember if I got it from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or if I got it from a little local craft store that they have here where I'm at. So, but I'm pretty sure it was Hobby Lobby. A little wood slice and 3 pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. You want to make sure that at least 2 of your pumpkins have holes in the bottom. They all 3 can have holes, but at least 2 need to. We're going to take off the sticker of our first pumpkin, and we are going to paint it, you guessed it, that same green color. I wanted all these to kind of tie in together, so that's why, but they're not all going to be green, y'all. So I go ahead and I get this completely painted. I go ahead and do the bottom. I don't worry about the stem. That stem is going to be covered up. It's actually going to be covered up on 2 of the pumpkins. You're only going to see it on the top pumpkin. We are making a pumpkin topiary again, this time using the ceramic pumpkins. This second pumpkin is already white, but I'm going to use that sheepskin, and we're going to go ahead and paint it up with the sheepskin. And this one has some leaves that are like engraved in it. I don't know how to explain it, but we're going to do something with that in just a little while. Next, let's see what we do next, because I don't even remember. Oh, we're just continuing to paint this. Now we're going to go on to that orange pumpkin, and this is where I mixed some pumpkin and some of that Arteza paint and made this, like, I don't know, muted orange color. This pumpkin did need 2 good coats only because of the material. It's almost like a glass material, and it was very shiny, so I did have to do 2 good coats on this pumpkin here. Now we're going back to that white pumpkin. We're going to take some of our Waverly wax and paint it on. Now, where those leaves are at, you definitely want to try to get down in there. So I just pounce it, and you can see once you wipe that wax away, it's leaving that wax down in the little indents of the leaves. And I think this turned out so adorable. I absolutely love this look. And we're going to go all the way around this pumpkin because I think it's got like 3 or 4, I think it's 4 of those leaves. Again, just paint it on, wipe it off. Now we're going to take some more of that brown wax, and we're going to do this. I don't show the orange one, but we do this to the green and the orange pumpkin. Just paint it on and wipe it off. Just gives a little more dimension to all of our pumpkins. Now, while all those are drying, we're going to take our candlestick, more Waverly wax, and a baby wipe. We're just going to wipe it on and wipe it off. I do kind of pounce a little bit on this just to get some more of that wax in there, and then I just wipe it right back off with another baby wipe. We don't do anything to the wood slice. We're leaving it as it is. Now we're going to attach our candlestick to our wood slice, yes. Right now I'm just trying to figure everything out. I just used some of this Fix All adhesive from the Dollar Tree, and some hot glue. Y'all, I love this stuff. I myself think it's as good as E6000. Comes out of the tube better and everything, and it's $1. So now we are going to start assembling our little topiary. And before I start that, I want to go ahead and take some of this reindeer moss, and we are going to hot glue it right on the edge here. We do go through, and I'll show you in a little while, we do some reindeer moss between each pumpkin, but to start with, I just wanted to get this first, because it's hard to get reindeer moss on that bottom after you get that pumpkin in there. So that was a lot to say. And then we're going to take our Fix-All adhesive and our hot glue, and we are going to adhere our pumpkin. Because this one has a flat base, it made it so much easier. Next, we're going to take our white pumpkin, more of that Fix-All adhesive, more hot glue, and we are going to stick that right on top of the green one. Same exact thing for our orange one, y'all. We're going to go ahead, more of that glue, more of the hot glue, and that's why you want the holes. And you can't see it, but I do go in and paint my stem on that top pumpkin brown. Now we're just taking more of the reindeer moss, some hot glue, and just going between each and every pumpkin and putting some of that moss in there just to give it more of a finished look, other than just the pumpkins being glued on top of each other. I think this turned out super, super cute, and like I said, this I do believe is one of my favorite projects in this video. Y'all let me know down below what you think and which is your favorite project. So here's the topiary all finished. I love how that wax sits in the grooves of those leaves. Super simple, y'all, again, but so stinking cute. So here's our final reveal. I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Y'all mean the world to me. I love each and every one of you. If you're new here and if you would like to, please consider subscribing to my channel. I try to post at least once a week, but with the fall and Christmas season coming, we're going to shoot for twice a week now, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate each and every one of you and love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all come back now. You hear?